First things first, you want to wash your hands. So we're going to cook the turbot. We're going to do it in some lemon, parsley. I'm going to bake it in the oven. And normally, or I was hoping to do a really nice dish, but unfortunately the ingredients for it all would be astronomical, because it requires quite a lot of, how you say, extravagant ingredients. The next thing you want to do is make sure your oven's on, so that it's preheating, so that when you've filleted the fish, then obviously it will be ready to go into the oven, and the ingredients should also be prepared during that time as well. Our oven takes a little bit longer to heat up, so I've got plenty of time. Next thing, make sure you have an extremely sharp knife. It's no good doing it with a blunt knife.
Make sure that's the right one.
As you can see, as I've been sharpening it, those little black bits on the knife there, that's the bits of steel where they've worn away. That tip should be nice and sharp now. Looks near enough good to me. Give that a rinse off first. It's all the bits of metal, don't want that in your fish. Okay, so there's one way to fillet a turbot, and what you have to do is you have to try and find the spine. Now, you'll feel the spine and you'll know where it is, because if I go from the bottom here, you should be able to see these bits here on the side move. See there? And that one? So that means I've got the right spot, and you'll feel the difference. You'll feel it's ever so slightly like just a rough line. It almost feels like just a small bubbled area on the middle there. And like I say, you should see the sides move. That's just where you're pressing on all the tendons or ligaments and it's moving. So you find that line. It also goes to the side a bit there. Now, when these fish start off, when they're very small, they start off like that, believe it or not, and then they eventually, once they get bigger, they then go flat, and this eye actually moves round to there. That's why their eyes are just slightly off centre, and because all of this is moved round, you have like the spine goes round there like a sickle almost, and then it goes down. So we'll just follow that down here first. So off of one of these you should be able to get 4 fillets, and then go back as far as you can towards the head. I always go straight across. I don't follow that last bit of the sickle, because normally you can get a good bit of fillet up to about the back of the head anyway. So then what you want to do is you want to just angle your knife in very carefully. Just take nice long strides. You'll feel if you're on the bone. I've just gone this side of it there and that side of it there. So what I'll do is I've now got the notch to go that way there. So I'll just come over here a bit. we go. And now I've got my notch that side to go that way. So I'm going to start angling the knife down. I'm going to follow along the bones, nice and gently. As you go, you can start to peel up. So at the moment, the fillet looks like that. See how I've come really close to the bones? There's just a tiny bit of meat left there, a tiny bit there, no big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the next cut round here, because there's all meat up to about here. So I'm going to make this cut in a circular fashion. Just before the bones, there's a bone there, bone there, bone there. So I'm going to just come off the back of them round here, and then I'll separate it here like I have here. And again, following the bones there, you want to come in at an angle like that so you get all the meat. If you hit a bone, just go over the top of it and then we'll cut around it afterwards. So there we have one fillet. We'll trim this off afterwards because we're going to take the skin off because they've got little bits of cartilage in. That's how you distinguish these from brill. So I'll show you how to de-skin it afterwards. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the rest of the fillets off. Got another 3 more to do, and then we'll show you how to de-skin it. One side done. Again, you can see that line there. That's the line you want to follow, but ignore this one because we'll come round here and just make it a bit longer, because this is a nice big fillet here and this is another fillet here, and there is absolutely no bones in there at all. Like I say, I always like to separate the tail first because it just makes it easier to handle. There it is, all filleted. Not a lot of meat left on there, but I'm not a fishmonger, I'm a carpenter. But however, I've done quite a good job, I think. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to skin it. So you want to lay the fillet down nice and flat. You want to go in by the tail. I'll try and just grab hold of the end of the skin and then just cut your knife, your thumb behind it, and your knife just holding the skin with that one and letting the meat just go over the top of that one. Once you have the skin separated from the meat, then now you can place the fillet on flat. You can grab the end of the skin like so. You put the knife just flat with a slight incline on it. Easier. Okay, so that's the skin off. And now we have our lovely fillets. Okay, so I've managed to get some of the meat off of the belly cavity from inside the rib cage, but off of the skin as well. But it does look a bit messy, so I'm just going to trim it off. Just a tiny bit there. So that fillet ends up being a little bit smaller, but that's fine. You'll only get 2 of those. So you get 2 large and 2 small.
There's the other one.
Again, that's the belly cavity. I could try and trim that off and take it off, but it's more hassle than it's worth. So, just trim it off.
Last one.
It's always best to let your turbot rest overnight, just so it doesn't stay like too tough, because obviously as they've been stressed out they'll be all tense. Just gives them a chance to relax a little bit. Normally overnight in the fridge does well. The nice one. So what I'll do is give these a rinse, and then I'll have a look at the recipe, and then I'll start putting it together. Top tip: oh no, what do I do with the carcass? It's going to stink, it's going to make the bin smell, there's going to be loads of flies in the summer. No problems. Grab the empty carrier bag, you brought them home in. I gave it a rinse. Put all the carcass in the bag. Try not to let too much go down the sink, because it will smell. Tie up the bag. If you want to, you can place this bag inside another bag which is dry, so it doesn't sort of contaminate with the smell anything else. So then what you do with this is you just stick it in the freezer until it's bin night, the night before, or when you put the bins out, just take it straight out the freezer, put it straight in the bin. You won't have a problem with your cats opening up the bags because they can smell it. Hopefully not by the time the bin men get there, but we've never had a problem. So this is how we get rid of the smell, and how we don't get bin flies in our bin, and how we don't have cats opening up the bag, because as far as I know, since I've been doing this, We've not once had a cat open up our bag, and we've never really had any real serious problems with the smell of fish. Okay, so we want 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. Cup your hand and then squeeze it into your hand whilst twisting it, and that will stop any seeds or anything going into the bowl. You can also use that to clean with, help eliminate some of the smell. So there's about 4 tablespoons there, you want to cut that up. Four tablespoons of olive oil. With the 4 tablespoons of lemon juice and 4 tablespoons of chopped parsley. With 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Mix thoroughly. Before we put the fillets in, we're just going to give them a light salt and pepper. Pour the mixture in. And they go in the oven for 20 minutes. So with our turbot, we're going to have some broccoli, long stem broccoli, maybe some green beans and some sauteed potatoes. Okay, so we've got our broccoli and our green beans ready. Just frying off the sauteed potatoes. The turbot's in the oven, so literally just tend to the potatoes. And then as soon as they're done, we can plate up, and it should look like a nice healthy meal. And that's that.